Alright guys, so you've clicked on this video because you want to learn how to extend electrical cables just like this one, because maybe someone's cut them too short like this one, or maybe you're moving a socket or something like that and you haven't got a lot of room and you need to know how to extend them cables. Well, I've got a couple of simple little techniques that will teach you how to do this job really easily. First of all, I've got the most traditional method for you, and then later on in the video there's a much simpler and more modern way of doing this job. So stick around to the end because you're not going to want to miss it. Now, before you do anything on electrical circuits, do make sure that you're confident and, more importantly, competent to work on basic electrical circuits. And if you're not, do give an electrician a call. Now, before you go doing any work on the electrical system, do make sure that the circuit you're working on is isolated and that there's no power going to the cable that you're working on. So when the first fix was done and the wires were put in, somebody left this cable far too short, and I need to extend that so that I can wire it into the back of this socket and then put that socket back to the wall. So as you can see, we can't pull any more wire through. We do need to strip these wires back. So if you can just about get a set of wire strippers in there, just strip the wire back. Can be a little bit fiddly because there's not a lot of room to work. We'll just pop a little bit of earth sleeving on that earth wire. So for our first method of fixing this short cable, what we're going to do is use some 2.5mm blue crimps. So you want to grab yourself 3 of those because we've got 3 conductors that we need to extend. And grab yourself a length of 2.5mm twin and earth. Now cut off a length suitable for your application. In this case, I only need to extend them a very short amount. So I'll just cut off a short amount of wire like that, and then strip that back so that I reveal the conductors inside. You can just pull out the wires from the outer sheath. Again, when you're doing this, you just want to strip them back and do that on both ends. Do the same with the neutral conductor. And with your earth cable, that's the bare wire, just add a piece of earth sleeving. So you now have your 3 extensions. You've got the live, the neutral and the earth. In no particular order, let's start with the live conductor. Grab one of the 2.5mm crimps. The links to these are below in the description if you want to grab some. Slide that onto one end of the conductor. Take hold of the crimping tool, and where you can see that blue dot, just place the crimp into the jaws so that it looks something like that. And then you can crimp one end of the crimp onto the cable. You heard it click. That means it has reached the required pressure, and you can then let go of the crimping tool, and you'll see there that one side of that crimp has been crimped onto the conductor. Now go ahead and place the other end of that crimp onto the live conductor, and then line up one edge of your crimping tool with the middle mark and lock that crimping tool down over the crimp. Again, when you hear the click, you'll know that the required pressure has been reached and you can let go of the crimping tool. So give that a squeeze. You hear that click, just let go, and you'll see that our crimp has been locked on to the cable. And it should look something like that. You can now repeat that process for the neutral cable, that's the blue one, and the earth cable, which is the yellow and green one. And then we'll take a look at a much more modern and simpler method to doing this job. But before we do that, if you like the video, hit that like button for me, because that really helps the video to reach and help more people on YouTube. And hit the subscribe button if you like DIY content, because there's loads more to come on the channel. So you can see that using the crimps, we've now extended those cables, and they're now plenty long enough to wire up that socket. I'm going to take them all off again, because I like to give myself work, and show you all a much easier method. So now on to what I think is a much quicker, easier and simpler way of extending these cables, and that is the inline splice connector. Now they are a push fit connector rated up to 32 amps, and they're absolutely perfect for joining cables like these together in a tight confined space, because if you look at them compared to a crimp, yes, okay, they are a little bit bigger, but not enough to make a difference. It's not like you're not going to be able to fit these in your knockout box. They will fit nice and easily. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how to fit the inline splice. All you need to do is grab one end of the stripped back cable and push the connector onto the cable, and you can see that is locked on there solid. Now grab your extension and push that into the other end of the connector, and you can see there that's perfectly connected. We can do that with the other two cables as well. Push that live wire in there, and we'll do the same with the neutral wire as well. How much easier and quicker was that? I don't think there's much of a contest. Since using these, I haven't gone back to the crimps, because for me these do a much better job. They're much easier. So the link's in the description if you want to go grab yourself some. I highly recommend them. And I can now go ahead and wire up my new socket. Of course, the brown wire, which is a live wire, goes into the live terminal. Do that nice and tight, give it a pull just to check it doesn't come out. The neutral wire, which is the blue wire, goes into the neutral terminal, and the earth wire goes into the earth terminal. So you can see our socket is now wired up and our wires are extended successfully, and look how little space these actually take up. We can now push those wires into the corners of the box, and we've got plenty of room in there to screw our socket back to the wall. The wires are extended, the socket's been fitted nice and easily, and that quick and easy little job has got me out of a real muddle that loads of people get really worried about. Guys, I hope the video has helped some of you out. If it has, hit like, hit subscribe, because you don't want to miss out on all the great content I've got to come. Oh, and check out the Patreon. We've got a Discord over there. We all help each other out. If you're doing a little job on a Saturday or Sunday, you're getting a muddle, you can stick a little text on the Discord group. Someone will come back to you and give you a hand. Go check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.